Philippe, you are so welcome to the Wine Cave. It's such a pleasure I know it's a pleasure for Shiva, because Shiva
That's a fangirl moment.
Yeah, no, it's a fan. He's starstruck. He hasn't said
Totally.
he hasn't said a word since you arrived, because he doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what to say. So you're very welcome. It's your first time in Monty's. Your first time.
It is my very first time in Monty's.
And
I'm very excited. I heard so much about this place. Tonight, this is like, an achievement for me. I'm very happy to be here.
No, it's going to be a big evening, because what's happening is there's a food pairing event going to happen, as you know. And has Guigal ever, or Côte d'Or, whichever, any of your wines ever been paired with Nepalese food?
This is going to be my very first time. And honestly, it's something important to me. I'm very fortunate to be the one traveling around the world to talk about the winery. And I always refused to behave like a French man. That is to say, going to Thailand saying, the Condrieu with foie gras is absolutely perfect. No, in Thailand nobody cares about foie gras.
Yeah.
So I always want to match, the local foods with the Rhone wines, and I think they can pair extremely well. So I am totally ignorant about Nepalese food, and tonight's going to be a big night for me.
Yeah.
As I'm ignorant, ultimately, of your wines as well, and tonight's going to be a great night for me. All I've ever had is the one I see in the supermarket, which is the Côte d'Or, which we're having right now, which is beautiful. And every so often, when I'm hosting functions, I think we should open it up. When I'm hosting functions or everything else, it'll be the preferred wine to serve at the event and everything else. And then sometimes I will, just by mistake, what bottle might fall into my bag. It's terrible.
Several.
Now, you're third generation winemaker. How cool does that feel? Is it cool, or is there a stress to it, whereby I've got to take on all this legacy?
It's extremely cool. I feel extremely privileged. I feel extremely lucky. Because I have the two best examples than I think anybody would dream of. I had a tremendous grandfather, the founder of our winery, Etienne. He's vinified 67 vintages in his life. Can you imagine this?
Wow.
67
Vintages. So, and
he
explain.
started at 14 years old.
Okay.
He passed away at 80, and he had this tremendous knowledge. He knew everything about every piece of land, every specificity of a vintage, etc. So this was fantastic. He passed away, I was 13 years old. And of course, it's always too early, because at 13 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a winemaker. I knew that I wanted to take over, but I never had a chance to talk technical stuff with him. So it stayed a lovely relationship between a grandfather and his grandson. I feel very fortunate to work with my dad. So my dad is 81 years old, 64 vintages.
Oh, he's got 3 to go to
exactly.
Is a competition?
You do whatever you want. At least 3, at least. No, he's fantastic. He's 81 years old. This is his physical age. It's not his mental age. My dad is literally exhausting.
Like most people's dads.
Yeah. So he's starting at the office at 4:15 every morning. Wow. I arrive very late at 6:30, and he reminds me every morning that I'm late. And it's almost
no pressure, so.
It's almost a joke.
And where's the energy? Where's to get the energy from? Where's the energy from?
I have a life outside,
Of course,
I have a family, I have a wife.
Yes.
And, so it's very funny.
And he's also thinking, I'm just also thinking, I'm 81 years of age, I've got 4 vintages to go, I've got to beat my father, and he's focused on the goal.
He's
a very healthy man for the pictures I've seen.
Yes, he's very healthy, he's fantastic. We go together in the vineyards, and the vineyards in Northern Rhone are completely crazy, extremely steep. We're talking about 100% steep, 45 degrees. So this is very steep, and I would love to be like my dad at his age, because he's very impressive. Everybody here is an admiration for a lot of people.
And how do the vines grow on such a steep slope? Shiva is a bit like what I witnessed when I was in Nepal with you, on the kind of like terraced.
You will correct me if I'm wrong, but traditionally they were all terraced, but now I can see they're planting inclination, so there's no terrace. So that's something that I want to ask as well. Yes, you've had wines that your grandfather started with. Have you, since you now being the principal winemaker of the winery, have you changed anything, drastic to suit the modern needs or modern climate needs, or what have you done different that your grandfather did?
I am always very direct with this question. My grandfather and my father didn't wait for me to arrive to produce outstanding wines. So they worked very, very hard, and I am extremely proud of the vintages my father did and my grandfather did. So that's the first point. The second point is that enology is evolving. So the way you work today has to be different from the way I was working 25 or 30 years ago.
What did you call it? Sorry, the word? Enology or wine?
Enology.
Wine.
Enology. Never heard of the word. Sorry.
Yes.
See, that's why this actually show is about for people like us. Never heard of some of these words.
So he likes drinking.
I like drinking. Cheers. Yes, cheers. I love drinking. I love drinking. Yeah, cheers. So, and I interrupt you. I'm sorry. You're going to carry on your thought there in 2 seconds. Yep. Yep. That works. That works for an afternoon. Look, I'm not even doing it right. Look at yours. You're sucking and blowing and everything. You're doing the whole wine thing.
Believe it or not, it's a job.
But before I go back to the point that we have, so teach me, but there'd be nothing more beautiful, right, than the person as a third generation winemaker to teach me, right, and everybody who's watching or listening, how do you taste wine?
So it's almost another job.
Okay.
A sommelier is a good teacher for this. I am myself an enologist. That is to say, my work is to do the wine. So I am a specialist of the vineyards and of the cellars. Thank God, because I do the wine, I taste it as well. So very basic. A lot of senses. So the first sense is vision. So you have to look carefully what the wine is like. So you can look at the color. It's easier when you have a light like this, and you can decide if it's a pale color, if it's darker, etc. We're in the Rhone Valley. We normally have wines that are quite deep in color. Okay. Second one is the nose.
The nose.
So you can approach it gently without moving the wine first, and then you'll realize that when you move the glass like this, you have more aromas coming to your nose.
You release the aromas.
Yeah, because most Irish people will have the swirl going before it goes anywhere near the nose. It'll be like a jacuzzi by the time it gets there.
If you want to avoid the jacuzzi, you can do it the American way.
Okay.
The glass is here.
Yes.
And you do this.
Oh, just do it on the table.
Yeah.
Just move on the table. Yes. Okay.
It avoids any
Any spillages.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smell.
And also holding by the stem. I see a lot of people holding the glass there. Would you stop?
I know we like to hold a wine glass like a pint.
Yeah.
Like a pint. You know what I mean? We do like a pint of beer and everything else. But we should do by the stem because it's the heat of the hand. Heat of the hand. Okay.
This is the heat that would, warm.
Affects the wine, yeah.
Yes. A little bit too quickly.
And then
And then
we've looked, we've swirled, and we've used our nose. Next sense.
The eyes, the
Nose.
and then the taste.
And the
of course.
taste.
And the taste, you can of course have the wine in your mouth and swallow it, but you'll notice that when you have hair coming in your mouth at the same time, you have more flavors. So this will make all the aromas of the wine developing in your mouth, so that you will have more sensations this way.
Okay, so it's a little.
Yeah.
That's a very weird noise for anybody listening. I know it is. It drives me insane when people do this. In vision, it's fine.
We have a
I
word
see,
in French. We talk about le toucher en bouche,
Le
the
toucher.
touch of
Okay.
the wine. So this is another sense.
Okay.
We're missing one sense. Take your glass.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yes, that makes sense.
Oh,
yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It's the glass.
So
Okay.
we've got them all.
Yeah.
The nose, the mouth, the toucher, and the ear.
But so when you're at the winemaking stage, and you're obviously looking at, just gonna move you
Yes.
at the Alan. So how do you decide? I know the lalas. Do you make them every vintage, or is there a certain quality?
Before you talk about what are lalas?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I will have to let Philippe explain the lalas.
No, let me let you do lalas, and let's see if Philippe will.
Okay.
Philippe,
For the lalas,
no judging.
lalas were the first of his kind, really. I think Etienne and Marcel, they decided they wanted to make single vineyard wines, which is the first in the Côte Rôtie region. and now a lot of people do it now. So there's a La Moulin, La Tourque, La Laudan. La Laudan? Yeah. And they are probably the best of the best and super iconic, you know. And if you look at collectors, almost every collector will have those three wines, you know.
The names are not very easy to pronounce. La Mouline, La Turque, La Landonne. So about 20, 30 years ago, someone heard Lalas. Okay. So these wines are now known around the world through the Lalas of Guigal. But this is La Mouline, La Turque, and La Landonne. Three single vineyard wines.
Bit like how they sell the skiing area in France, the three valleys. So instead of saying the three valleys, it goes, oh, you're going to the three valleys, yeah. So the Lalas, so they're single
vineyards.
Single vineyards, so there's no blending.
Small vineyards.
Okay.
Small spot.
How many bottles a year?
La Mouline, 5,000.
Wow, that's very little.
1 hectare. Very small. La Turque, a little bit less than 1 hectare, 4,800 bottles. La Landonne is gigantic, 2.1 hectare, so it's 11,000 bottles. Just a joke.
That's like 20,000 bottles of Lalas.
Yes, 20,000.
For the whole world.
For the whole
And of
world.
that, what's the percentage of export and what's the percentage of, you hold back?
French market is 50% of what we do. It's an unusual percentage. Normally, winery like ours are 70-80% exports. We consider we have to be good in France. The reason is that is passionate about our wines.
Shiva loves wine. Let me just explain to you, because have you met before?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
We have met before. So you know how passionate Shiva is.
Exactly. So he's got a passion
Well,
for
I think this might have just tipped it over the edge.
Well, yeah. Well, having out 47,000 wines in a wine cave does say something to the person. Yeah.
So let's place it this way: he's passionate about wines and he's passionate about Guigal wines. So he has Guigal wines in his restaurants for the past 25 years, correct? So this is quite amazing. So he has our wines for many, many years. He comes to France. He goes to restaurants. He goes to retail shop. He doesn't see any Guigal wines. Don't you think there's something wrong? I think there's something wrong. So 50% in France. We fight very, very hard to make sure that the best restaurants, the best retail shop have our wines. And then it's export. And export is today 147 countries.
That's a lot of traveling for Philippe.
I don't do them all. I'm happy to be in Ireland.
If you're looking for people to do that for you,
Yeah.
more than happy to do that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we travel. won't we?
Yeah. Whether we can put
Yeah.
on the fun checks into
I need
we
a
live
representation
there.
in Nepal for sure.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can
we
do
can
that.
We
You
can do
just say the word.